Hi everyone, welcome to Unit 3, formerly known as grant writing. However, as I talked about last week, we're going to change that up and we are doing popular translations instead. So let's just start with the actual assignment. We're going to do this a little differently this time, but I really want to emphasize that you're writing a proposal. So in some ways, this is like an argument, but it's very persuasive. So, going to the assignment prompt, let's say your boss wants to draw new talent, investors, young minds, and generally engage the public with the work of your field through a popular presentation of your research. Specifically, she wants you to address a gap in general knowledge, a misconception, or some other problem your field has. She asks you to analyze what other companies in your area are doing with popular translation and public engagement, and your job is to present a report of 3 different types, I repeat, 3 different types of popular translations of a similar technical concept. The rhetorical translation moves you analyze, whether it be something like Radiolab, TED Talks, RSA Animate videos, Neil deGrasse Tyson's Cosmos, or Star Talk, famous scientist tweets, social media, comic book translations, museum exhibits. The list goes on and on. These should be specific instances. So you want to include quotes, screen captures, and pictures, and substantially different, aka there's no reason to present your boss with 3 of the exact same tactics. So you'll start by describing the concept you are addressing in an easy to understand way, and end by proposing some kind of popular production based on your research. So your conclusion is where the proposal aspect actually comes in. Okay, so some example problems for this unit that have worked really well in the past are a lack of women in the field of engineering or STEM-based fields, period. And you all will actually be working with this topic next Monday. So if you're interested in this, you might look to those readings and some of the discussions. They may help you out a little bit. Some other topics would be a misunderstanding about the dangers of fracking or a fear of the wrong parts of fracking, a lack of knowledge of what to do in a tornado, very important for Oklahomans, a lack of interest or knowledge of young people in your major. And a note here, the best problems for this assignment will be those in which the scientist fails to consider and serve a specific population of users. Okay, so the user persona is coming back here. You've already built a user persona in Unit 2, so we need another one for Unit 3 because the key point of this class is to really think about users. Okay, so let's break down what you're doing in this paper. So for your introduction, you want to get right to the point. What's your problem and to whom are you writing? So really highlight the exigence of your paper. Introduce the purpose and objective of your report. Why are you writing? What problem is your popular translation analysis and proposal attempting to solve? Be succinct, be clear, and have a strong identifiable thesis. Also think about your audience. You want to introduce the specific audience you're attempting to create your popular translations for. For instance, you don't just want to say those unfamiliar with engineering, those who don't understand climate change science. Be more specific. It could be 5th grade science students, homeowners in floodplains, students in the dorms who don't know tornado procedure, etc. Ideally, this audience analysis will take the form of a user persona as we just looked at and as you did in Unit 2. And so finally, your intro should briefly introduce the 3 specific sources you've chosen. Don't analyze them yet, just tell your reader what they are. Now then, a note here, your introduction is the only place you're actually summarizing your 3 sources. In the body of your paper, I expect really in-depth analysis. Okay, let's go on to the actual body. This is heavily analysis-based. So what are your examples? What are they doing? Why are they doing it? Is anything going wrong? What are they doing correctly? Your body paragraph should include some reasoning behind why you've chosen each source. Why choose this example and not another one? How is each source suitable for your audience and your problem? So the point here, don't just pick sources that relate to your topic in some way. That's not enough to build a proposal on. Think about sources that do relate to your topic, but also your audience. Next, you should describe the rhetorical moves of the source with specific examples. What is this popular translation? What does it do? How does it do it? Why does it do it? How will it specifically serve your audience? Basically, describe why this source is designed the way it is. Each source should have some kind of image or infographic, 3 images for each source, right? So this is part of showing as well as telling. Include the pros and cons of each source. Be critical of these sources, by the way. And include several points of comparison between the sources. How are they similar and how are they different? So you're doing pros and cons and comparisons to build to your actual proposal, which will be your conclusion. As with most conclusions, you will summarize the takeaway of your analysis section, and from your pros and cons, what you've learned to avoid, and what you've learned works well from your analysis. That will segue into your actual proposal. So you'll apply what you've learned from your analysis section to solve the problem from your introduction. Generate a specific proposal of some kind of popular translation, whether it be an activity, movie, workbook, presentation, etc., that applies the techniques you've learned from the analysis section. And a big thing here, you want to focus on feasibility. So calculate the feasibility of your final proposal. Why is this the best option according to feasibility measures like time, capital, manpower, etc.? So this is a big note. I've read some great proposals in the past that completely fall apart when it comes to feasibility. Great ideas are wonderful, but if it's not feasible, that's not the proposal you need to forward in this paper. All right, thanks everybody. Let's get started with this unit. And as usual, you will have discussion post today, Wednesday, Friday, and then next week you'll have discussion post Monday and Wednesday, and you will have peer review Thursday and Friday. Also, have a great 4th of July.